Somebody is probably laughing at the TV set saying, oh, they'll never catch us. They'll never catch us. We will catch them.
Investigators found that blue Dodge Challenger.
Sometimes the day rooms are not locked.
The report shows he did not check it out until about 5 a.m., 10 hours from when he clocked in.
That extra one factor.
Pieces of a puzzle that set 4 Bibb County inmates free last year.
These are the 4 inmates as they were escaping. Chavis Stokes, Mark Anderson, Jonifer Barnwell, and Joey Fournier.
But as experts told us at the time,
going where their network could support them.
They had help. 6 other people, each accused of having a part. And it didn't start October 16th when the inmates jumped through a second-floor window and ran out a hole in the fence. It started 3 days earlier with a trip to Home Depot. Janicia Green bought a hammer and chisel and got those to Christian Williams.
He is a person that we feel has knowledge of where they might be.
He'd been missing for months, allegedly kidnapped hours before he was set to stand trial for murder. But a week after the break, as deputies got to Williams, he shot himself and died. While deputies couldn't get any answers from Williams, Green's guilty plea in federal court gives us a few. Court documents show Williams arranged to get the escape tools inside the jail.
We believe that Jacqueline had brought some contraband items to the jail prior to the escape in that Dodge Challenger.
We don't know if Jacqueline Williams brought those tools to the jail, but he is charged with aiding the escape and stealing the Challenger. Now he's in the Jones County Jail charged with aggravated assaults not related to the escape.
One of the inmates who broke out of the Bibb County Jail in 2023 as he was awaiting federal sentencing for armed drug trafficking charges was sentenced today. A judge sentenced 38-year-old Jonifer Barnwell to life plus 5 years after he was found guilty on several charges from 2023. Barnwell was also sentenced to serve the statutory maximum of 5 years after pleading guilty to 1 count of escape from custody.
Jonifer Dernard Barnwell, a.k.a. Whoop, a.k.a. Malixe, 38, was sentenced to serve life in prison after he was found guilty at trial of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute fentanyl, methamphetamine and heroin, cocaine and cocaine base, and possessing a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime on October 2, 2023. In addition, Barnwell was sentenced to serve the statutory maximum of 5 years in prison after he pleaded guilty to 1 count of escape from custody. Barnwell, now 38, has had a lengthy criminal history and multiple run-ins with the law that started as early as January 2005. When he was convicted of purchase, possession, manufacture, distribution, or sale of marijuana, a misdemeanor. Years later, in November 2009, an Ohio court found him guilty of possession of crack cocaine and he served 15 months in jail. Then years later again, in March 2015, he was convicted in Bibb County of aggravated assault and violation of Georgia street gang laws and sentenced to 6 years in jail and 9 years of probation. This one being his most serious offense. He was accused of beating and shooting a man in a lounge who would later survive. Barnwell would not be able to stay out of trouble facing additional charges while incarcerated. After serving his time on the aggravated assault charge and gang charges, you would think Whoop would try to stay out of trouble, but on July 20, 2021, FBI executed search warrants at 11 Macon addresses identified as trap houses on Mimosa Drive, Culver Street, Forest Hill Road, Riverside Park Boulevard, Lucerne Drive, Sherling Drive, and Kingsview Drive. Agents found approximately 8 kilograms of fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine and cocaine base, plus 20 firearms, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, large capacity firearm magazines, and more than $50,000 cash. These drugs house believed to be ran by Jonifer Dernard Barnwell, aka Whoop, and co-defendant Kenneth Emmanuel Portillo, aka Fat Boy. At one location, an apartment identified as a drug lab at 3990 Riverside Park Boulevard, where Barnwell and Portillo would mix fentanyl and heroin in a kitchen blender before selling it. Agents found approximately 2.5 kilograms of methamphetamine, nearly 1 kilogram of pure fentanyl, more than 1 kilogram of a pure fentanyl chemical analog, and more than 2 kilograms of blends containing fentanyl, heroin, and fentanyl analog mix. Agents also found nearly half a kilogram of pure heroin, more than 280 grams of cocaine base, 80 grams of cocaine, and 64 grams of ketamine. Agents seized several firearms, a fully loaded AR-14 drum magazine, ammunition, and $5,778 cash at that location. Jonifer Barnwell, aka Whoop, aka Malixe, and his organization of over 10 associates would be convicted. In a shocking turn of events, in 2023, Whoop would escape the Bibb County Jail with 4 other inmates after a female corrections officer assisted in their escape through a window and damaged fence. After 5 weeks on the run, Barnwell was captured in Augusta on November 12, 2023. By FBI and Bibb County Sheriff's Office deputies alone in a house, and was allegedly in possession of an AK-47 rifle with a loaded magazine, a 12-gauge shotgun loaded with 14 rounds, a .45 caliber pistol with a loaded magazine, an extended capacity magazine, a drum magazine, 23,000 grams of methamphetamine, and more than 3,200 grams of fentanyl. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments, and don't forget to like and hit subscribe.